"You knew!" the prosecution yelled as the new release package came across the courtroom, prepared by Lil Durk's lawyers for the judge to hear. Lil Durk's new bond request will be heard by a judge in Los Angeles on May 8th. The bail package his team plans to give includes $1 million in cash, $900,000 in real estate, $150,000 from an accomplice, 247 armed guards, and technological monitoring to show he is not a flight risk. The federal government eventually released new evidence in an effort to keep him in jail, which is absurd. The government has submitted a motion that includes new lyrics from Durk's song Rumors, said the document. Featuring Gucci Mane, this single was released in February 2022. Additionally, the evidence against his release on bond was bolstered by an unpublished song that was stolen from his phone after his arrest. According to the lyrics, "I want the one that I paid for. We hit your homie," the judge was told. In light of the prosecution's claims that Lil Durk had a history of buying bodies, a lawyer would eventually reply that similar to Thug, he would most likely be released and that there is no issue.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
Prosecutors have little proof against Durk because they only have lyric evidence. Did you know, though, that Durk's lawyers are planning a shrewd strategy for the bond hearing on May 8th, which is likely to lead to his release from custody? In every rap song he wrote, Lil Durk was simply exercising his First Amendment rights.
First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because...
That's what the lawyer would say in the end, though. The primary evidence that these prosecutors are probably unaware of what rap music is this. As has happened in many court cases, such as YSL Rico's trial.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desire.
There is another reason why online lawyers believe Lil Durk will be released from detention on May 8th. You may be surprised to learn that Lil Durk has been the target of prosecutors using fan-made modifications as proof. Durk's lawyers were taken aback to hear this, which makes them appear terrible.
Durk's team says Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was recorded 7 months before this actually happened. And the specific version of the song that had audio from the news clipping actually overlaid onto the song is a fan edit, not the original song that Durk recorded and released. Basically, they're saying that the key evidence used to charge Durk were lyrics written and recorded 7 months before the incident even happened, and then an internet mashup that a fan edited and posted.
Lil Durk's lawyers would write to the judge so that Mr. Banks would be imprisoned. The government has attempted to make Mr. Banks responsible for the creation, editing, and social media sharing of video clips by YouTubers and Instagram users that Mr. It is not connected to banks. At the initial detention hearing in this matter, the defense contested the validity of paragraph 6 of the superseding indictment, which quotes lyrics from a recording artist, Babyface Ray's song that solely involves Mr. Banks. The song's lyrics, Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, conclude with Durk rap watching TV and hearing her son shout no, while Quando Rondo can be heard shouting no on the police station's pavement.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
There is substantial proof that the Yee song was written prior to Durk's passing, according to his lawyers. Nevertheless, as you may be aware, his wife India Royale was charged with infidelity shortly before Durk was scheduled to be released from prison, so there will be more discussed later. The following was intended to be tweeted. Durk's baby mama, India, was allegedly seen at a party with her hand on another man's leg. Then, the next morning, she would reply to it, much like screenshots of the footage given by one of her friends would demonstrate that it was taking place in India.
The family, do we know you? Yeah, you a grown man. Do y'all remember when men used to like lay concrete, change tires, go to war? Now these niggas on the internet gossiping all day. Like, what's happening?
This would eventually go viral online. During live streaming, even DJ scholar Tekashi69 would express their thoughts.
So, all right, so you want to bet 10,000 right now that... hold on,
Durk
hold on.
Told about some other
We talking about India.
She's a good girl. She's
You met her?
I haven't met her. But,
So why you saying she a good girl? Like,
because I hear the drama about everybody's relationship, and I know any rapper who could say something about me and they got a public girl, I could tell you who your girl off when she was mad at you. Like, I know all of that. I've never heard no dirt about her. Just to keep it a beat. Never heard nothing about her, period.
all right, but she gonna be faithful to the trial.
Yes. Definitely.
Anything after that?
I mean, you never know how it goes. I mean, if somebody, how does it go if somebody's, again, I'm not wishing upon him, but if he gets life, like, how'd that go with your girl? She's supposed to be faithful or no?
It would eventually become increasingly urgent to have Durk released. It's better to be covert with your money, Lil Durk said in an update prior to the release of his most recent album. Do not buy a Maybach if you are unable to afford 10. This video is a significant factor in helping him get out of prison.
We already came with a plan to be like feature run, album time. We're gonna do that prayer, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do everything in the way that it's gonna be big. I ain't looking at nothing small no more. I'll wear this 5 days straight, we gonna play. Durk broke. I sell all this shit. I have one car. It's not that I can't get it, it's I don't give a f. I'm not thinking backwards. If you can't buy 10 Maybachs, don't buy it.
In order for fans to quickly comprehend why Durk's group issued that A post that went viral, they inquired, does anyone feel like Durk's team releasing his best motivational moments, softer moments, and overall nice times is a way to package it to show the judge that Durk's influence was always good? This would ultimately prove to be true, as the package Durk's lawyers were able to assemble to secure his release from prison has only grown in size over time. However, Lil Durk's release from prison is primarily due to what transpired there 2 weeks ago. At the LA County Jail, rapper Lil Durk was attacked in his cell block earlier this morning, according to news reports. Public information on the rapper's health is unavailable. Nonetheless, a switch of jails is most likely necessary, since Durk's lawyers will contend that the county jail isn't protecting Lil Durk at all, and that they have an obligation to protect their members. But what if I told you that fans knew about the danger of the attacker? Little Tim and Wando Rondo gave interviews the same day Lil Durk was attacked. While some believe it's a curious coincidence, others believe it's a strategy employed by the government to not target them in their quest for retribution against Lil Durk. Proponents noted that Lil Tim would utter
I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, yeah, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying, f commit shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
As weirdly enough,
Juan Rondo would, ironically, later say the same thing, wishing that it had been handled better.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Supporters believe it to be real because right after the incident, Kanye West contacted Lil Durk to check.
Yeah, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just taking a day at a time, just chilling and staying focused for real.
Yeah, I love the time we
from a federal prison.
I love the time we spent in Saudi, man. That was great.
Hey, look, that's all I'm talking about here. The people here, they get their time and they ain't never experienced the world. So I be telling them stories and they be on 20.
Wow. Yeah, man. I just got off the phone with Puff. I talked to him for the first time 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes before you called me. Yeah.
16. Lil Durk will get one of the best bail packages ever when everything is taken into account. If Durk's lawyers are busy, however, it's important to know what the federal government is doing. Just now, Lil Durk lost a friend to the federal authorities. They'd give it out. Big U, Brick Baby and Loose Cannon were arrested in a swinging 60s gang raid. It would then go out and be distributed. Brick Baby was arrested in the latest gang takeover, and sources and lawyers believe he will turn against F-rapper Lil Durk. Given the timing of both arrests, lawyers believe the federal government will pressure Brick Baby to surrender everything. As if you forgot, Brick Baby's first snitch on Lil Durk was due to his remarks many years ago. He said in a live stream 3 years ago that you can't say Durk never slipped for Vaughn because they've had Lil Pab. During his live streaming the night Durk was arrested, Brick Baby mentioned that previous interview, which seemed to indicate that he had alerted the federal government to Durk's name.
But was this an attempted hit or
Well, they can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
God.
Like, who died? You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
Nevertheless, did you realize that Brick Baby also brought up a worse point? One of the lines, from Lil Durk's song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, would be used by the FBI as evidence that they had an outfit and the location. They connected it to another Brick Baby interview, where he says, quote, "He would have provided Quando Rondo's whereabouts if he had requested because he is loyal to Lil Durk."
Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coach if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd something.
Right.
The government is likely to force Brick Baby to spy on Lil Durk because he is presently incarcerated on serious charges. Even scholars of TJ would acknowledge that Lil Durk utilizes the titles of his songs and albums to list all of the crimes he has perpetrated in light of the increasing amount of evidence that streamers are finding online.
2020 Vaughn, 2021 his brother dies. 2022, the niggas who his brother, they get clapped. The to Vaughn, at least a cousin of theirs get clapped. 2023, he drops an album, I'm almost healed. You ever think about that, Chad? It's like poetic. 2020, Vaughn dies. 2021, his brother dies. 2022, get back for both those situations. 2023, I'm almost healed. Crazy, huh?